Dual entitlement, simultaneous entitlement for Social Security benefits. There's millions of people throughout the country that are receiving essentially two checks, two benefits, two types of different benefits, or different, the same benefits on a different records. And so that's basically what we're talking about today. My name is Ed Weir. I'm a former manager of the Social Security Administration. I've helped millions of people with all things Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. And in my semi-retirement, I've made over 600 videos outlining all of these different programs. I do a bunch of shorts. I've been doing this live Q&A for basically 3 months plus, pretty much on a daily basis. So make sure you share and subscribe and like and all that kind of good stuff so this video goes out to more people and more people get the money they're entitled to. But let's go ahead and see if your check is right. And remember, this is it's not only for you, it's for those people around you. The problem with Social Security is, I'm sure you know, the customer service is wanting. They're at a 27-year low in terms of staffing. And so, yeah, you call up and you're lucky if they pick up the phone. There's long wait times. You get different answers. Headquarters of Social Security is not doing a great job getting information out there so people know what type of benefits they are entitled to. So Social Security policy is over 20,000 pages, and it's going to get even more difficult in the future because the Supreme Court ruling, the Chevron Supreme Court ruling, has kind of upturned all federal agencies, and now they have to do everything differently going forward. So there's going to be a lot of changes, but make sure you subscribe, and any type of changes I am going to keep you aware of. All right, so each one of these programs, I'm just going to kind of go through the list of different programs, and hopefully something clicks, or with you or someone you know, your coworker, next door neighbor, or something like that. And each one of these, there are a lot more eligibility requirements, a lot more limitations, a lot more things to think about. But I just want to go through a list of all of the places where people can receive two checks. Quite often you might be receiving two checks, but you might not realize you're receiving two checks because it comes on one, direct deposit. But sometimes there are two checks added into one. All right, so what are we talking about here? There's obviously the RIB. I'm going to use a lot of Social Security jargon here because it just makes it easier for the acronyms. Not necessarily easy for you, but I'm going to go through here and explain all of them. So the RIB is a retirement insurance benefit. So regular retirement, 62, 67, or whatever the case may be. So people can get regular retirement. They can also get spouse benefits, right? So we all know that. So it's essentially two checks. You file for your own benefits, and then you file for spouse benefits, and you get the higher, if the person is still living, you get up to 50% of their full benefit amount. So those are two checks right there that you could be simultaneously entitled to. You don't necessarily have to be married to that person. You can also get RIB, retirement insurance benefits, and divorced spouse benefits. So you were married to someone for 10 years. And remember, if you were married 3 times, whichever one has the highest amount. So you look on first X, second X, third X, you're like, oh, second X, that's the most money. That's the one you get your spouse benefits from. And independently entitled divorced spouse, IEDS, your ex-spouse does not, I repeat, does not have to be receiving benefits for you to receive spouse benefits. There's way too many people out there that are just sitting around waiting for their ex to file for benefits. No, you do not have to wait. As long as that person is at least 62 years old, you can file for benefits on their record. All right, another thing is you can get retirement benefits and SSI, aged. So SSI is supplemental security income. That's the welfare-based program that Social Security administers. And you can get SSI based on 2 factors, either disability or aged, is what Social Security calls it, 65 and older. So if you are receiving retirement benefits and your retirement benefits on your own, if you're receiving retirement and spouse benefits, or retirement or surviving spouse benefits, whatever the case may be, if you're receiving any type of benefits and your benefits are under $1,000, then I would definitely call Social Security and find out if you can get SSI aged benefits. But again, you have to be 65 or older. You can get them under that if Social Security has to determine your disability in that case. So SSI aged. You can also get DIB, disability insurance benefits, and receive spouse benefits. There's a lot of people miss this one. So people have come on disability in their 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever. And then when they turn 62, they can file for spouse benefits. And some people think, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get spouse benefits because if I get spouse benefits, my disability will cease and then my Medicare will cease. No, 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 no. You will continue to get disability benefits and you will get spouse benefits on top of that. It's one minus the other. You don't get, both full checks. That's almost how all Social Security programs work. You get the higher amount minus what you're already receiving. And then you can also get disability insurance benefits and surviving spouse benefits. Remember, surviving spouse benefits start at 60 years old. So again, you're still going to continue to receive disability. You're just going to add some more money on top of that for spouse benefits, divorce spouse benefits, surviving spouse benefits, whatever the case may be. So if you're married for 10 years, married to someone who passed away, make sure you call Social Security and say, hey, any more money out there? All right, you can get SSI and SSDI. SSI is, as I said, the supplemental security income. SSDI is Social Security disability insurance. So if your Social Security disability insurance is low, SSI amount this year is $943. So if your SSDI is below that, you might qualify for SSI to bring you up to that yearly payout, which is the $943. All right, let's switch to medical here a little bit. Med, and MSP. So people can get Medicare and Medicaid, Medi. And they can also get what's called a Medicare savings program. So if you're on Medicare and you're having a hard time paying that $174.70 a month for the Part B, contact your state Medicaid office, Department of Social Services, Department of Welfare, whatever they call it in your state, and say, hey, I'm having a hard time paying for my Part B. And they will evaluate you for Medicaid and that Medicare savings program, and they just might go ahead and pay for your Part B premium, which puts $174 back in your pocket. And if so, you can have Medicare, Medicaid, that Medicare savings program paid for your Part B there. And you can also have what's called Medicare Advantage, a D-SNP or a C-SNP, or with the Medi, you usually get a D-SNP. A D-SNP Medicare Advantage plan is Medicare Advantage dual eligible, dual special needs plan. Those are for people that have Medicare and Medicaid. And then there's a lot of cost savings there and a lot of extra benefits. So usually I recommend Medicare supplements if your budget affords it. But if you have Medicare and Medicaid, Medicare Advantage dual eligible plan all day long. You can also have auxiliary. Auxiliary is either a spouse or children, and what's called child in care. So if your spouse, for instance, or a parent is deceased, the children are receiving benefits. If those children are under 16 years old and you're home essentially taking care of those children, you can receive benefits just as they are until they reach 16 years old, or if they became disabled before the age of 22. Let's talk about some switches on benefits. Again, I'm going through this very, very quickly, but this is why I've got over 600 videos and I do this live Q&A. So I just want to put this information out there relatively quickly. And if something clicks, then you join my live Q&A and say, hey, Ed, I'm getting X, Y, and Z, and what else can I get? And so make sure you subscribe. And I'm doing these pretty much, I'm trying to do them as every single day as I possibly can. 3 o'clock West Coast time. So 3 o'clock West Coast times, 6 p.m. East Coast time. Okay. All right. So people can get retirement insurance benefits and then switch to disability benefits. So if you're receiving retirement at 62, 63, and then become disabled, then you can file for disability benefits. If you're on disability benefits, everybody switches to retirement benefits at their full retirement age. So everybody in the country who is receiving disability benefits, when they hit their full retirement age, it's automatically switched to regular retirement benefits. And the good thing is no more CDRs, no more work limitations. You're no longer on disability. You're just on regular retirement benefits. The check stays the same. That most people don't even realize. People come in here all the time and say, "Oh, I'm 80 years old. I'm on disability." It's, actually, disability ended a couple of decades ago. They never noticed. So you can get survivor benefits and get retirement benefits. So this is one thing that you can't do if you're getting spouse benefits, if that person is still alive and kicking. But you can get survivor benefits. Don't touch your own, let your own increase, and just get those survivor benefits starting 60 whenever. And then once yours increases more, then you can switch over onto your own. You can also receive retirement benefits and then switch to survivor benefits. So, or add that on top of that. So you're receiving retirement benefits. One of your spouse or your ex-spouse passes away, and then you can switch to or add survivor benefits on top of it. And then there's also disabled adult children, children that became disabled before the age of 22. Child disability benefits for children under the age of 18. There's also disabled widows benefits from 50 to 60 years old. If you were married to someone and they passed and you are disabled between 50 and 60, you can start essentially your survivor benefits early. Normally survivor benefits start at 60, but if you're disabled, you can get them from 50 to 60 years old. And let's see here, I'm trying to go through the whole list. Medicare Advantage, those Medicare Advantage plan, they're technically called Medicare Advantage with Part D in there. They're Medicare Advantage Part D with give backs. So if you're having a hard time, again, paying for your $174, there's the Medicaid option. But if you don't qualify for that because you've got too much resources or other income or whatever the case may be, then some Medicare Advantage plans, depending on the area, will pay for part of your Part B. A lot of those are directed to kind of veterans. They're called honor plans and patriot plans and stuff like that. But anybody can get them. So they pay for your part of your Part B, either $50, $100, or all of it. Really depends on your particular area. And then you've got the Medigap plans that cover the missing parts of original Medicare. Those are Plan N and Plan G. If you've got a prescription drug plan, you're getting prescription drugs, the Part D, you can get the low income subsidy, also called the extra help with prescription drugs. So that's a very, very easy application to do. So if you have a hard time paying for your drugs, make sure you contact Social Security. Just call the 800 number. You can go online and file for the extra help with your Medicare prescription drugs. And then all of these, throw out some other acronyms there. There is annual enrollment period for Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplements, Part D, and everything is in October 15th to December 7th. That's your annual enrollment period. You have a general enrollment period, January, February, March. The initial enrollment, special enrollment periods. If you move or you lose your Medicaid, you have a special enrollment period. So, and then working. If you're on disability, you have to stay under substantial gainful activity, and then you have trial work periods where you can work as much as you want to see if you're able to work, extended period of eligibility, expedited reinstatement. If you're on retirement and want to increase your retirement benefits, you can actually stop your retirement benefits when you hit your full retirement age. It's called voluntary delayed retirement credits, and then start your benefits later, up to 70 years old, and you get 24% increase on your Social Security check. And then there's the one everybody hates that I've issued hundreds of thousands, unfortunately, the $255 lump sum death payment. So yeah, never enough. And then one that a lot of people miss is the difference between the annual earnings test and the monthly. So the first year you start your retirement benefits, this year is $22,320. So you have to stay under that amount. If you go over, Social Security holds back $1 for every $2 you go over. But a lot of people don't realize that the first year you do that, you don't have to worry about that. You can use a monthly earnings test. So the first month this year, the first month you go under $1,860, which is $22,320 divided by 12. The first month you go under $1,860, you can start your Social Security benefits, regardless if you made $1 billion up until that time. So, all right. There, I went through the list. Yes, I understand. I went through the list very quickly, but I just wanted to see if all the people out there that clicked a little bit, oh, wait, that might apply to me. And then you can join my live Q&A, watch all the videos.